Oh, yeah. I've had about 40 pounds of Starbucks muffins, so womp up those jams, womp it up. I'm about to hit a blood sugar crash, so let's make the most of today, as we should be doing every day.
When are you going to have it? Are you going to have the blood sugar crash during this podcast? Because this is going to go for a full hour. Are you expecting a blood sugar? Should we reschedule?
I thought we might be
should
having
we pause it.
I thought we might be having it
right now
while I was doing the song. I'm not feeling. I only ate the tops of all of those muffins I got.
What do you mean? You paid for them, or you just reached back in the glass shelving?
I took them because you know why? Fuck that.
Fuck what?
$4.50 for a muffin.
And then you only eat the tops?
Yep. So I got a bunch of bottoms, but those tops are very sugary. I think most of the calories exist in the tops.
Yeah, for sure.
So I feel kind of like crying.
That's like all that raw sugar on top.
I feel
just
shaky.
Like crusty.
Yep, I feel shaky.
Should we reschedule?
No, we got Tara Trout here. We got to talk to her. She's taken some time off from the mall, and that's really hard for her to do because she barely gets a break to go to the Orange Julius. Tara, welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you for respecting my time. I really appreciate it.
That's true. We do love to respect time here because everybody's time is important.
It is.
Correct?
It is. Tara, hold on for a hot second while I tell our listeners what they're listening
but
to.
But seriously, do we need, because we can come to her at her kiosk. We can go to her home. We don't have the
capabilities to go middle of the West Side
Mall. We would
Mall.
have to then just retell it. We would record it like you would just hand
isn't
record
NPR,
it.
Bitch! We don't have that capability, Corey Flintock.
Okay, but then why did you eat all those muffin tops?
I don't know, because when first of all, I had to go pick
what's
Tara
on your
up.
hand?
What?
What is on the back of your hand?
Oh, I got a bunch of
permanent marker?
No, well, actually, that's a rash because I got a bunch of perfume samples. I had to go to the West Side Mall to pick Tara up because she doesn't have a car.
Oh, that's interesting. You can Uber.
No, she's living on a fixed income, she said. Until she finds the next big Naomi Campbell, she's really living paycheck to paycheck.
Selection.
So,
all right.
So I needed to go pick her up. And then while I was going through the Bloomingdale's, a bunch of people were assaulting me with different fragrances, almost telling me something.
But you're allergic to most of them.
That's right. So what you're seeing is a very deeply red skin rash that has developed.
See. Okay.
That's the new J-Lo fragrance. I forget what it's called. Something like Bitch, by Jennifer Lopez.
It's called Bitch. I don't think so.
It's called Bitch, Please.
I don't
by
think
J-Lo.
We're gonna find out what it's called. All right, we're gonna.
At any rate, let me just tell people what we're listening to. Then we're gonna get to the and please, Tara, I don't know if you've eaten recently. You are looking very, very hungrily.
She's got all those muffin bottoms.
At these muffin bottoms, so please have at them.
I couldn't.
Why?
I don't eat
carbs. I don't
eat muffin. I don't eat muffins.
Okay.
Just a liquid diet for you, or
typically, if that.
You're on orange. You're on the OJ diet, Orange Julius diet.
A lot of empty calories in orange juice. So
okay. So you're not even going there anymore.
No.
Okay. God, you got so tempted by that food court, though. I'm sure. Just the smell of garlic knots, almost like in a cartoon. Giving you a finger towards it, come.
It's tough to be on a model's diet stationed at a kiosk next to the food court, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're 5'11". You got to keep it. I mean, what are you, 118 or something?
Oh, a model never tells.
Okay. Because you're keeping it rail thin over there, right?
Because you were a swimsuit model, but from what you've told me, they replaced your face. Because you've got a banging body, but a hatchet face.
Well,
I can't.
I'm not being rude. She
what
says
are you
herself they were replacing her face with other models.
You can't use the word hatchet to describe someone's face.
When Christy Brinkley can't make it to Fiji, they would film. They would take a photo of Tara Trout
She's
and
a
put
stand-in.
Christy Brinkley's face on her body. Yes.
I will admit her face is better than mine, but my body is better than hers.
Whoa! And she had to sign a non-disclosure agreement about that.
Not anymore. NDA.
Yeah, because it runs out.
That's right. It just ran out today, and I cannot wait to talk more about it.
Today of all days. Excellent.
So let me just tell our listeners what they're listening to. My name is Marina.
What?
I'm going to change my fucking name.
All right. You're falling off a ledge.
Marissa, quote, Marina Del Rey Wompler.
Were you setting yourself up to say that?
Nope.
And then you
That's
just...
a happy accident. Read Improv for Dummies.
Which one is that? You
Improv
mean the
for
yellow
Dummies?
in the yellow thick
Yes,
book
yes,
that I can
Improv
find
for
on
Dummies.
Okay.
Says that sometimes mistakes make for the best comedy. What you're listening to, I am Marissa Wompler. I don't know how old I am, but I am currently a senior. It's my 9th time around. It's my senior year at Marina Del Rey Public High School. You did not graduate. Is that right, Tara Trout?
Correct. No, I did not graduate from high school.
Great.
And I did not get my GED. And I will not.
You are a cautionary tale.
Why? She seems like she's doing great.
Does she?
Except for that, quote, ratchet face.
Hatchet. I don't know what that means. Like the
Which
tool?
someone took
Either
a
one.
hatchet to your face.
I know what ratchet means.
Is that the term? Is it ratchet face or hatchet face?
I don't think it's hatchet
Hatchet
face.
face sounds like a
Can you Google
villain
it,
from a
please?
horror
It's
movie.
a Halloween movie.
Can
right?
you Google it, please?
I don't have internet here.
Well, somebody's got to Google it.
Nobody has to Google it. We're not going to stop and Google in the middle of our podcast. Let's just let our listeners Google it and let us know at post.
Hatchet,
I'm out of
Don't-
data.
Oh, my God.
hatchet face.
Watch out because you're going to get lost in your text messages.
Oh,
This is what happens.
this is some tough stuff.
This
Oh my
is what
God,
happens.
Gutters texted me. Oh, hatchet face is real. There's a Crybaby star. Remember Crybaby? That is a movie that made me sick. More than almost any other movie. If you want to see what a hatchet face is, she's the star of it. Kim McGuire. She came up as the. That's tough. Okay, woo. Don't Google things randomly because you're going to get a lot of things. You know, you got to control what kind of media comes into your life. That's something I learned from Oprah Super Soul Sunday. All right. At any rate, this is a
I don't
podcast
remember that one.
called
Which one was that?
When Oprah gets into a car, when she's picked up by anybody from the airport, she insists, of course, her people call ahead of time, that it be silent in the car because she doesn't want the energy of whatever that person's listening to infect her. Hello?
Okay.
Have I put you to sleep, Listler?
I've turned you off. It's too many pop culture references.
Tara, you need an assistant?
Couldn't everyone use an assistant?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't have anything for my assistant to do, but you know,
Okay.
in general, yes.
just to pass out flyers or whatever.
Okay. Ratchet. Sorry. Tara, I just wanted to share that ratchet face is not a thing, but a ratchet person
That's right.
is a slang term in hip hop that in its original sense referred to an uncouth woman and is a Louisianan regiolect version of the word wretched.
I see a ratchet
Okay.
person. I'm not saying that about Tara. I'm saying her face looks like someone's taken a hatchet to it, which is, I believe, what the origin is. And I don't mean that in any kind of insulting way. I mean, we're just calling a spade a spade.
No
right?
one has disagreed. The only thing we've disagreed with is the word hatchet.
Fine.
What happened to your face? Or is that just the way it is?
Wow. There was a hatchet accident.
Oh, no.
Really? So,
Well, like
okay.
a Freddy Krueger type situation?
No,
Or
he didn't use hatchets. He had scissor fingers. Remember? Sliced your fingers, and he also had been burned in that house, and so he could also. But he could do all sorts of things to you because he would come in while you were sleeping.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry I asked.
Freddy's
Nope,
coming.
nope, nope,
Remember?
nope, nope, nope,
So
nope,
a
nope.
hatchet. What happened to your face?
Well, my kiosk is next to a switchblade. You can personalize a switchblade at the mall.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right next to there, and it's also next to the kiosk where you can get that thing where you pull a string and it goes into the air and spins around.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So-
Castaway loves those. My stepdaughter. I'm not my stepdaughter. My stepsister.
Freudian slip.
Well, I'm taking care of her. So what's the point?
Yes.
So somebody went crazy. Or
Someone
what?
tried to combine the two, see if they could combine their personalized switchblade with their, what are those called?
A poor man's drone.
Poor man's drone, and came right over to my kiosk
and just started. Just started.
started bun all over my face.
So Sling Blade face. What was the guy from Grease 2? What was his name?
Another movie
Face.
that made me so sick.
He's in Grease 1 as well.
He's in Grease 1.
Crater Face?
Crater Face, yeah.
He's Chi-Chi's boyfriend.
Chi-Chi Monero or Chi-Chi Rivera.
Right, thank you.
She was, by the way, straight up 65 years old when she shot that movie, right? I think we can all agree. I think Channing Tatum.
That's
not
who I
Channing
wanted
Tatum,
to be, though.
Channing Stockard.
Channing
Stockard.
Wow. Tara.
Stockard Channing
Help us out.
was at least 35 during the filming of Grease.
So you were saying what this is?
You're listening to a podcast. It's my senior podcast project. It's called Womp It Up. I interview people in the environs and also at the school here at Marina Del Rey Public High School, where I am enrolled in a alternative learning program called the STARS program, aka Spaz Academy, taught by my dear esteemed colleague.
I'm not your colleague. I've never been your colleague.
Aren't we, though?
No, we're not
At this
colleagues.
point, somebody tweeted me, what the fuck happened to Rodney? And I don't have an answer because he just stopped coming. Where is he?
You went to preschool. You haven't been to class. Rodney is there every day. You're the one that's like not showing up.
I'm doing internships.
Though it's not internships if you're just attending preschool.
I'm going to do an internship with Tara Trout.
Great.
Shadow her.
I cannot pay.
That's fine. It's an unpaid internship.
I know she's here for a reason, right?
The universe has brought her
You're
to us
here
for a
reason.
reason.
She has something specific that she wants to talk about, so maybe we should do Hot Topic.
Okay, let's do it. You going to give me some music?
Yes, I am. My God.
Great.
Oh, Channing Stockard.
That's offensive what you just did.
It is not offensive. I was doing an impression
We have
of you.
a lot of listeners from different countries, and
That
that's
didn't sound like I wasn't trying to do an impression of someone, except
really
for you.
sounded like Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's. Hey everybody, this is Hot Topics, where we talk about what's been going on with us. We've got our guest with us, Tara Trout, who is, we haven't even told anybody what she does at the mall.
Let's do that.
She's a girl watcher. She is a model scout for, what is the company that you guys are, it's an agency or what is it?
Yes, it's formerly affiliated with Barbizon, but it's now Barbizo.
Barbizo Modeling
Barbizo
Agency.
Modeling Agency, yes.
And you're looking for fresh talent.
That's right. Fresh meat.
In the form of tweens or any age?
Oh, I'll
like-
take them at any age.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens? They got to go to a...
Put them in a shipping container and then they're found.
No, this isn't The
It's like an
Wire.
episode of The Wire.
Okay? This isn't the One Wire episode that I told you about. Okay? This is real life. So, not to brag, but Tara brought me in.
What?
Tara brought me in. And, there's nothing like, to be perfectly honest, there's nothing like someone, stranger, walking up to you and saying...
Have you ever
Let's
considered
hold
being
on.
a model?
I want to hear it from Tara. Okay, I
Okay.
want to hear her line.
Tara, what happens when you see
and
somebody?
saying,
You are hot, hot, hot. I'd love to get you into some classes to learn to be even hotter.
"Wow, that's an interesting way to lead in."
Now, normally I would say, get away from me. I don't have time for this.
And people do.
I push
So
you out
many
of my
people.
way.
Yeah.
Say, I'm getting to the garlic knots. Get away from me. But it's so rare that you hear you are hot, hot, hot from another woman that I think it would stop me. At least I'd be confused.
Yeah, many people are confused, and then I go on to explain, they can come take a class at Barbizo Academy for models.
And
But
is
you
that
gotta
at
pay
the
for
mall
that
or is it a
class.
separate location?
It's at a separate location.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's
So you don't have? I thought you had a kiosk at the mall, but you just hang out there, or what?
I do have a kiosk at the mall.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
I have the kiosk that I stand by at the mall. Yes.
Okay, but you're also selling those wind chimes? Is that a separate thing? Because that's what's on that cart.
I don't actively sell wind chimes. There's another woman that does that.
Okay,
But
so
you
you're
just
sharing. It's
stand
like a
near-
timeshare situation with this kiosk,
Near
or
the wind chimes and the poor man's drone,
Drone
and the switchblades.
personalized switchblades. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where you've been doing most of your work. And now there was a controversy that came down about a gentleman who was taking pictures that were not
It
appropriate.
was a Coco from Fame situation.
Yeah. There was a lot
Not
of.
familiar with that reference.
Okay. So there's a scene in Fame where Coco, Irene Cara, is urged to take
her top off.
To take her top off during a headshot session. Different kind of head, if you know what I
Right.
mean.
And that-
so she's taking off her. He's like, "Oh, that's nice," and then he says, "Take off your," Anyway, it gets into an uncomfortable situation which she regrets. And you had that with the gentleman Larry Davies.
who was taking your photos.
Yes. Well, he was one of the instructors at the academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what the problem was. I'm still a little bit
Is
lost.
that because you were dating Larry Davies at the time?
Well, he wouldn't call it that, but I would. So
That's interesting. We're going to
yeah.
get into that. We're
Yeah.
going to peel back those layers because
Yeah.
that's an interesting relationship. He's in Tucson now, is what I've Googled. He's opened a different shop in a different mall. And he's calling it Barbazoo Modeling. And so, and that's.
Barbazoo.
it is wreaking havoc on our SEO. It's terrible.
What's the SEO?
Search engine optimization.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you want, when people type in BAR, you want
That
to be the
to
first,
be the first thing that comes
autofill.
up.
Yes.
But then why not change the name to something else? Because the first thing that comes up is Barbizon, right?
Right. Well,
And you're the second thing.
and I wish I had thought about that, but now I have sort of an empire at the mall and there's no looking back.
Well, you don't have an empire, though. You don't even have a kiosk. You just have a place that you kind of stand.
And that's my kiosk.
And also, no, it's not. It's the wind chimes kiosk.
And also mine.
But are you
so
paying
much
for
denial
it?
going on?
Are you
There's
paying
so
for
much
it?
denial going on.
Am I paying? Yes, I pay the wind chime woman to let me stand there.
You do? How much?
$200 a week.
Too much.
That's a lot of money.
That's too much. You know how
You could
much
have your
she's
own kiosk for that. Also, scene of the crime, hatchet face. Why do you want to be there? Do you really want to be there?
Why is she still working at a modeling agency where the guy she was dating
doesn't matter.
left in the
It
middle of
doesn't
the
matter.
night with all of the negatives?
Listen,
And he will not use digital.
Tara, that's your first sign that something was wrong. Tara, you have a beautiful, beautiful body. A body
you.
built for sin.
I mean, her face was what it was prior to the hatchet incident. Now it's been attacked by flying sling blades, essentially.
right, but she's got a brain. Do you hear her with
She's
this
got a
SEOs?
brain.
You've got a business brain.
And a body for sin.
Right. This is like Heather Locklear, in Melrose Place. These are you could
Except for that she had that face.
Well, whose body do you think that was?
No.
In
You're
Melrose
telling
Place.
me you were Heather Locklear's body when she was rocking those power suits from the early 90s?
Hold on, let me check when that NDA expires. Yeah, today.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
that was
All
my
your
body.
NDAs
Lucky.
expire today because apparently 2018 was a year that people thought would never exist.
Is that because Heather Locklear had those real saggy titties and you had some real perky ones? She didn't want that to get out.
You got it.
Whoa!
This is so much dish. We got to take a break.
All right, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, more with Tara Trout, a woman with Bo Derek's body and the face of the star of Crybaby. We'll be back.
I'm sorry, I'm stretching for a song.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ. Listeners, please stay with me.
We got to go to a break.
All right. When we come back, more with model scout Tara Trout, a body like Bo Derek and a face like the star of Crybaby. Why is she just crying like a Kathy cartoon? She's got like tears just sprouting out of her. Oh,
I
God.
don't know. Something
Well,
about
it's
this
too
song.
soon.
I'm too sexy for my love, tove. Love's gone
Now-
to leave me.
This was the song. I went to Tara Trout put out a bunch of flyers that there was going to be a catwalk competition at the mall.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I went to it. And
You did?
I did.
Oh,
I did,
okay.
just to see, because
Yeah.
sometimes you never know. You don't want to, as I've been giving my my listeners the advice, you got to take the opportunities when they come to you.
Sure.
And I actually stepped on a loose board and fell through.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it flipped up and hit you in the face.
I wish. What ended
You
up
fell
happening?
through the floor of a mall?
We had a
Because
raised
I've just-
platform.
They had a raised.
Oh,
platform.
I see.
Oh, it wasn't like one of my legs is like going through the ceiling of an American Eagle.
Outfitters.
What a disturbing image that would be.
I didn't know. I was picturing you on the ground floor of a mall, walking on that solid floor and stepping.
No, her kiosk is on the second floor.
Okay, but also there was a raised platform.
They had a platform out for one of the holidays.
Yes.
Kids to meet.
It's where Santa goes.
Easter Bunny,
Yeah,
on the
Santa.
second floor. Like
Yeah,
where?
that's where they do the meet and greets.
It's not big enough up there.
By the food court.
Okay. Who wants to smell like great golden panda the whole time?
Exactly.
Panda Express.
There's a lot of problems with the
I
West Side
prefer
Mall.
golden panda.
What's up with all the birds flying around in the West Side Mall? It's like a bunch of sparrows got
It's
in
an
there
aviary.
and they can't get rid of it.
I'm
But
trying
like,
to get it protected.
I don't think you should. If I'm going to buy, some
That's your problem.
crop tops, I don't want to get shit on by a bunch of birds.
Damn birds made it their home. Got to protect them, right?
No.
Are you from Louisiana?
I have been known to be. Where I get ratchet all the time.
You are a ratchet person. Faux show.
Okay.
I take that as a compliment.
I do.
Good.
Here's what could happen with my straight up ratchet.
What?
Is I could ratchet your skin to pieces.
Here's what I'm going to do is ratchet it up a notch and whop it up. Right?
This is a real start and stop situation.
Tara.
today. Go for it. You want to do what's cheesing you?
Yeah, let's
or
do
you
what's
have other
cheesing.
questions.
No, what's cheesing you? I would love to do what's cheesing you, Tara. And this is a segment where we're going to talk about what's bothering us. And now, Tara, with the exception of that Kathy cartoon cry you did on the lead out in the last segment, I'm not seeing a lot of human emotion from you. So I really want you to dig deep with what's cheesing you and find something that's really bothering you. Like, where did Larry go? Is he in...
What's cheesing you?
Oh.
What's cheesing you? What's cheesing you? What's cheesing you?
That was
What's
good for
cheesing
her.
you?
That shocked her.
What's cheesing you?
She's keeping things too locked down.
Have you ever thought about being a model?
Hot, hot, hot.
Have you ever thought about being a model? What's cheating you? What is cheating you? What's cheating you? Got a red face. What's cheating you? Yeah, what happened with Larry?
What was the last thing that Larry said to you? What was the last moment you had with Larry?
Do text messages count?
Yes.
Sure,
It all
yes.
counts.
Okay.
In the court of law, where if they ever find Larry in Tucson, they are going to definitely put him on trial.
Oh, well, it would be easy to find him. His Google footprint is huge.
Yeah, that's true. No one's gone after him. I guess no
Are
one
you
gives a shit.
also, because a couple times you've referenced the internet and things to do with the internet, and I'm wondering, are you also an aficionado with the internet?
An internet aficionado? Well, I like the internet. I use Google quite a bit. I know what targeted advertising is. Is that enough?
Well, it sounds like you could also track people. You know how to look at search histories and find people, or you know how to,
Larry.
inside terms.
I called Larry. I've been doing some research before guests, and Larry
What?
has... That's right.
This is a first.
Wow.
This is a first,
Wow.
Tara. She was very excited about you being on, and I hope it's not because she thinks that she can be a model.
Shut up. Let her come to me. You don't want to send your headshot. If you're going to sign with the biggest agency in Marina Del
They're not
Rey,
a- this is not
you don't
an
want to
agency.
pretend. You don't want to say, like, I want you. You want them to
It's
want
a
you.
sham. Okay, it's a sham.
You telling me I put this pancake foundation on for nothing?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, is it peeling off?
That's like Ben Nye, like stage makeup.
Yeah.
If I may, we do
sorry.
have a class in makeup application for models, and we only offer it to people who are very, very promising.
Well, I'm interested.
Well, and I'd like to invite you to take it.
Great. See, I've been already invited.
How much
to
is
take a
that class, Tara?
The class is a 4-year-long, twice-a-week seminar.
Okay.
And
Just
each-
about putting on makeup?
Do you want my
'Cause you
credit
can do
card
that on
number?
YouTube for free. You don't have a credit card?
Yeah, I do. I opened a TJ Maxx card.
They can't take TJ Maxx card.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Anyway, back. Yes, I would love to. I'm going to give you those digits.
Great.
I contacted Larry, and he is claiming that you have found a way to get into his computer and see him through that camera. You know how people say you need to put a piece of tape over that?
Yeah, I do that to mine.
Apparently, that is true. You can, if you know enough about computers, you can get in and
Can you, is it true you can see Larry Davies in his home and what he's doing
in his Adobe home in Tucson?
depending on how he's perched his laptop or his iPhone?
I just sort of thought that was something everyone could do. Hack into other people's laptops and look through their camera? No?
Honey, unless you're a part of the CIA, no. No, that's not something
right.
everybody
Were you
can
part
do.
of the CIA at any point in your life?
Let me check. Hold on, if I can say that, yes or no. Yes. I was part of the
Wow.
CIA. I had an NDA. No longer.
Now, were you
Fired
like one of those James Bond type of decoys they would send in, like a beautiful woman to get, and then like right about when he's about to climax, you're just like, give me the codes, damn it, like Carrie Russell in The Americans, right?
You haven't seen that.
She's got a body built for sin, though, right? Keeping
Give me-
it tight and also right.
Built by the Mickey Mouse Club, as I recall. Okay.
They 69 right at the beginning of that series. If
They
you have
do?
seen it. Mm-hmm.
Can we Google that clip?
You are not allowed to watch that.
I'm
It's
Googling
too
it.
grown up.
They 69.
Season 1. Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Really, season 1? Maybe
I believe they
I think it
69 in
was
season 1.
Season 2.
Really?
And 3.
Well, I was at least imagining them 69 in season 1.
Hey, don't
Tara.
slam your hand on this
Ow.
on this library floor. It
Ow,
ricochets.
it hurts.
All right. Okay. Tara, what's now knowing that?
Yes.
Can you tell us? Is there something that's currently cheesing you?
Well, you know, I guess the ghosting culture.
Oh, wow. This is going to hit home for you, Liz.
You being ghosted?
Are you talking about ghosts, like actual dead people that are coming back to life, or
That's-
visiting people in this realm?
No, that's not what she's talking
I don't
about.
like that, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about dating, men leaving without a trace.
Very familiar.
You know, just suddenly you see them with another. They're married. Suddenly you see them and they're married, and you thought maybe you were still dating them.
Larry Davies is married.
Yes.
Suddenly.
Yes, from what I can see through
Got
his
it.
computer. Yes.
Got it.
Has he got a ring on, or are you just seeing another woman in his apartment doing things that a wife would do?
Both of those. Yeah, wedding ring.
She's
And
got
a
a,
wife.
a wedding ring on as well.
They both have rings, and they are clearly married.
Do you think it's healthy for you to be watching Larry Davies fuck his wife? his
Well, he
current
and I
wife?
are still technically dating. So
How do you?
'Cause
So if
'cause
somebody
he
doesn't
hasn't
break
broken
up with you, and this is something I put out to our Wompsters to have they had this experience. If someone doesn't technically break up with you, you're still dating them. I understand if you don't get a divorce, you're still married, but if someone just doesn't call you back, that means you're still dating them.
yes,
I
as
don't
far as I'm
think-
Now, were
concerned.
you guys exclusive? Had you had that conversation?
We had never had a conversation stating we were dating.
Uh-oh.
But you were going on dates.
It was understood. No.
What were you doing?
We were just clearly a couple.
Having sex
What-
with each other?
In that you were getting
Going to
girls
dinners?
to come back and get photographed?
Yes. We had that special relationship where I found him girls at the mall for him to photograph, and
That's special relationship.
we celebrated an anniversary related to that.
you
and
did.
how did you celebrate
We went
that?
out to dinner with some of the girls. Mm-hmm. And,
And
Were
you
you
were
ever
holding the
alone
camera?
with him? Were you ever alone with him?
no, I've never been alone with him.
Were you asked to hold the camera?
During the dinner?
Yeah.
Yes, under the table.
Okay.
This is dark.
This is some tricky wiki stuff here. This is some tricky wiki stuff. I too have been ghosted, and I do know the pain of that. But I was clearly in a relationship with him, as in we spent a lot of time alone together, lived
You
together,
did cake
had sex.
tasting.
He asked me to marry him on this podcast. We were engaged to be married, and then he ghosted me, and then I found out he had another family.
It's a little bit of a different scenario.
You've also been ghosted on and off for a long time with her.
I don't call it ghosting. I think that it's been just too painful for us to be in contact.
But it is ghosting. It is the definition of this in this new
not for
ghosting
me.
culture.
Not for
well,
me.
he left,
He left.
and you didn't know where he went, and he had gone to New York to look in apartments with his new girlfriend, correct?
Right? But that was because it was
But
too
you didn't
painful
think you
for
guys
him
were
to
in a
say,
relationship at that point.
It was too painful for him to say goodbye.
But then he came back and didn't speak to you for months.
And I still don't know exactly where he is.
Well, you saw him because you climbed up his tree
That's
and
right.
looked through his window.
That's right.
You don't have to go to those lengths.
Well, Tara, could you get into his computer?
Yes, of course.
Guys, illegal.
She said yes, of course.
I could do that if you wanted me to
Well,
do it.
why haven't you
Because
offered?
it's
That would really
straight
cut out the middleman.
Stone cold illegal, and Tara saying it out loud right now on public radio, podcasting situation.
I don't need to see him
podcast.
jerking his mechanical pencil. You know what I mean? That's all I'd be seeing if I got virtual on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So who cares?
Well, all I'm saying is it's a felony.
Well, this is a real lonely wives club over here, isn't it?
Mm.
All been ghosted.
None of us were married to these men, so nobody's a wife. Okay? Have I been married before? Yes. Was I married to Kareem? Not yet.
All right. Well, Tara, I hear you on that cheese. And you know what? I think we do whatever we can do to get over it. And if that's hack into their computer, then
No.
it.
We don't commit felonies, guys.
For love?
No.
And I would do it.
I fucking hate that song. Don't sing.
You know what that's
Meatloaf.
about?
Don't do Meatloaf
Butt
in here.
stuff.
Is
No, it isn't. You're
Yes, it
thinking of
is.
the Hall & Oates song.
No.
I can't go for that.
I was thinking of the Sheryl Crow song, If It Makes You Happy, Why Could It Be So Bad?
There
That's
are
also about butt stuff.
Yep.
a lot of songs.
I guess now that I think about it, are there any songs not about butt stuff?
Exactly, Tara.
most songs are about butt stuff.
Yep.
And how we don't want to, but we will to keep a man.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Now, you guys never had sex, though, right?
No, correct.
Nor did you do
but
butt
you
stuff.
watched Larry have sex with other women. So did you think that was dating?
Oh, no. He didn't sleep with them.
He didn't?
Well, he sleeps with his wife. I do watch that.
This is
They
not
have
right.
sex in the living room a lot, or... Because that's where does his laptop usually get perched open?
Yeah, it's in the living room. Yeah, they're a living room sex couple. Every couple has a room where they have sex, I have been told. And that's sort of where they do it.
Can you hack into all of the cameras? Can you get into the camera on his iPhone is there one in the television? I mean, where are all the cameras in his house?
All the cameras. Well, he has a surveillance camera outsid, so I can hack into that.
So you can see him taking out his recycling and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's right.
This
yeah.
is not healthy, Tara. This isn't healthy. What about all the people that you meet at the mall? There's so many opportunities for you to move on, right?
Well, I'm alarming to people.
That's true. Even Freddy Krueger finds somebody, right? Is there ever a Mrs. Freddy Krueger in the picture?
No.
He does usually like the girls,
Yeah.
but they're not into him.
Because he's Freddy Krueger.
Exactly. So is Larry Davies. You know what I mean?
No,
What kind of
he's getting
monster
all
is
kinds
that?
of poons. Okay.
What's cheesing you, Liz? Anything?
I mean, sure.
What's cheesing you?
I mean, just like everything right now, I feel very cheesed in general.
Really?
In life.
Why?
Because
This is
everything is
what's
so
happening.
fucked to the fuck.
Yeah. And where are we? You know what? It's like Tara. So many bad things have happened to her that she's become numb to it. Don't you think that's how we are as a society right now?
Yeah, but it's all getting normalized, all this crazy behavior. But we're like,
That's
but we're
right.
all humans. So when we think about treating other humans like, it just blows my mind that we're in this situation. It's really hard to exist right now.
I think the only person that could save us is Oprah. And I don't think she's going to run for president. But I think she's definitely not going to.
So what, we're fucked?
Well, I don't know. Who is going to come out of nowhere to save this?
Beto O'Rourke? Anyway, that's what's cheesing me. What's cheesing you?
You know what who's getting a landline anymore?
What?
You know, you call up Spectrum to get your cable package, and they think it's some awesome thing that they're going to throw in a landline.
And sometimes it's cheaper
To get the landline
than to not.
What's that about?
A lot of security systems require a landline.
Do they?
Yeah, because if the cell towers go down, then you need to have a landline out. 911. What's your emergency?
Interesting. Well, I don't need one, and I want you to stop offering it.
Why are you getting a new Spectrum package?
Because Costaway and I need to get Disney Junior, and it's not on there.
It's not on where?
Not currently being offered in our package. So I called them up, and this fucking bitch goes on and on about how she wants to get me a landline. Hey, I don't want you listening to my calls. Operator, I'll connect you. You know, I don't need that. I don't need to pick up my phone and say, can you dial, Listler's house? And then she plugs it in, but then she's
I don't
listening.
think that's what we're talking about.
I don't know what a landline is. I'm too young to
You
know what a landline is.
don't remember what a landline is,
No.
but you can quote Notting Hill.
That was a different episode. Get in the present moment, please.
It doesn't matter. Your knowledge is your knowledge.
I've heard at least 4 Notting Hill quotes today,
Yeah.
Have you
whether
really?
whether you've meant to or not.
God, that movie really got in my bones. I don't actually like it. That's the truth. After you find out Hugh Grant's been doing all that crazy shit with, women and getting them in his car, it's hard for me to.
What has he been doing?
Also, his face
Paid
looks
sex.
more and more like a woman. as
Nothing
he
wrong
gets
with
older.
that.
You ever pay for sex?
Yes.
Really?
Been paid for sex.
Oh my God.
We should not shun the sex workers.
No, of course not.
It's the people that are not getting paid for sex I'm worried about.
like
even-
Tara.
Yeah, even just casual.
Well, no, I mean a casual consensual thing between two people of equal power, sure. Behind a 7-Eleven bulletproof glass, go for it. But if there's any level of power,
Of course.
somebody should be getting paid.
Of course. God, this is becoming such a political podcast. We're moving on.org.
Yeah,
all
we
right?
gotta go to break.
All right, we're going to break. And when we come back, more with Tara Trout. If you would like to submit a headshot, you can do so at, what is the address?
Larry.
You're still
Davies.
getting him women?
Well, we share an email address.
No. Does he
do
know that?
Do not send anything to Larry Davies.
This guy is going to be federally convicted of all sorts of bad behavior.
If Beto O'Rourke has anything to say about it.
Oh, no.
We'll be back with more Womp It Up.
Fishy, feminine, up and coming. From the Clintons to the Obamas, I keep it tight. Now they call me.
Welcome back to Womp It Up. It's time for a little segment we call Listeners Love Lockdown.
This is where you guys have written in and asked us your questions about your love life, your life. We answer. We do not have any professional degrees in this shit. So
No,
if
take it
you
or
know, take
leave
it
it.
or leave it. If it speaks to you, take it. We care about you. I hope that's clear. We want to serve you. We want to tell you what we truly believe and think. But ultimately, we want you to be happy. And that should be, we should say that, right?
Yeah, act from the heart.
Yeah.
And we've got Tara Trout, modeling scout from Barbazo Modeling Agency here. She's going to weigh in. She's had some tough stuff in the love department, so we'll see
Talk
what she
about
has
a
to
phoenix.
say. Yeah.
So our first letter, it says, Dear Marissa and Miss Listler, after a long time avoiding it, I recently signed up for a bunch of dating apps in hopes of re-entering the dating pool. I'm a trans girl with a Wompler-esque body, so I knew things were going to be tough, especially in LA. But the crushing absence of anyone being interested in me over the last 2 months is only destroying what little self-confidence I had. I pay a lot of attention to how I look, and people often compliment my clothes in public, but it's hard to convey that on a dating app where you have to project a level of confidence. Please, I would love any advice you could give me. Sincerely, Womping on my own.
When I was listening to the letter, I was thinking to myself, what did we all do before dating apps? We still found people, but we found people doing the things that we loved. So, for instance, I know of many people who were a part of a comedy community. They would take classes and they ended up getting married to each other from that, you know? If you love bicycling, you meet those people. If you love a craft, if you're politically active, I really feel like we are putting too much importance on these dating apps. It's a tool, but it's only one tool. And it sounds like you are a phenomenal person and a great dresser. And somebody has to meet you face to face.
I wonder, are there apps that are specific to the trans community? Because I would think that that would be a tricky, I mean, maybe one of the things that the dating app gives her is an opportunity to say, hey, FYI, I'm a trans girl,
right?
And that's who I am, right?
But
and
is there a smaller
for.
pool on the apps she's using? I don't know.
I don't know. Is she also seeking trans? We don't know that from her letter, right?
But I'm just my advice is I want you to think about what are your interests? What lights you up? As Joseph Campbell would say, what turns that light on, right? And we want to listen to that and pursue it and go do more of it. And I mean outside of your house. Go and volunteer. Go and take that class. Go
to the mall.
Go to the mall.
Take that modeling class.
But people meet people in your class. Yes, mostly they meet Larry Davies, but that's a bad example. But I want you to do that, and I know it's hard. But guess what? There must be so many other people out there that are like, how the fuck do I meet somebody? LA is the most obsessed culture with looks. But we can circumvent that because there's just as many people here that are real #authentic people.
But there's a bigger pool too.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
I also think from people that I know who have been on these dating apps, and that's not been me, so I can't speak to this personally, but it is like you have to kind of go through a lot of weirdos to get to,
and rejection
to get to the good ones, and you have to kiss a lot of frogs, as they say. So, maybe just be patient. I don't think 2 months is necessarily that long of a time. I think what I'm hearing, though, is that you are needing validation from these apps that you are worthy. And we're here to tell you, you don't need that. You are this amazing person already, whether or not
an app tells you someone swiped right on you.
Yeah.
It's like an actor saying, am I a good artist? Hollywood will let me know. No.
Right. No, you're going to get a lot of no's before you find a maybe, a yes. And then when you find the yes, that's where you want to be. You want to be in that place where the person is so excited about you, gets who you are, gets what you want, gets what lights you up, and vice versa. Right?
Yeah. What do you say, Tara?
You're
somebody who comes from a very image-based business.
That's right. Absolutely. I agree with everything that's been said. I've never been on a dating app because my data plan does not permit it.
What plan are you on? Did you get?
I don't have data. I don't have data.
Oh, you got like a jitterbug type phone?
Yes.
You have endless access to the internet. Is that only on a laptop?
Or are
from
you
the
going
library.
to the Apple store? Okay, you're going to the
You're
library.
spying on Larry Davies from a library computer?
Yes, that's right.
Well, she used to be in the CIA. This bitch can do it from anywhere.
But yes, I think, meetups are great.
What's a meetup?
Well, you can join meetup groups where they'll post something like, go to a horse race. And then if you're into horse racing, just a bunch of people that want to make friends, go to a horse race.
Where do you find these meetup groups?
Oh, you Google it.
You Google it.
Yes.
Okay, so you would Google
LA meetup?
Yeah, I've never done it in Los Angeles, but I think you could. Yeah, there's meetups now. That might just be for friends, but friends are good as well.
They lead.
What's that? Wasn't there something called social? I can't remember what that name of that group was.
Living, no.
Yeah, social living or something like that, where you log on and it is like a meetup situation. You join and you can kind of like choose between activities.
Yeah, yes. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. I can
But-
recommend the fucking roller derby. Go to the LA roller derby. That's where all the badass people
Yes.
are.
Yes.
Yeah, bring a friend, stay after. But you know what else? I have one other thing to say, which is I spend a lot of time with Castawe, my stepsister, and I am amazed at how children make friends. You know how they do it? They walk up to each other and say, "Hey, hi, I'm so and so. Do you want to play?"
Yeah.
Hey, you want to be my friend? And in fact, Castaway told me about somebody in her preschool class who had just moved from Australia who was having a really hard time, really, really sad and angry and all of the things that we would feel. And he started saying, "Does anyone want to be my friend?" You know, and Castaway said, "I would." And now they're friends. And I think sometimes it takes, okay, what's the worst that can happen? The person goes, "No, fuck off." I don't think that's going to happen. But if you came up
Even
and
if that
said,
does happen, why would you want
don't
to
wanna
be friends with that person
person.
anyway?
but like if you, I think it's practicing going to an event and then saying, "Hey, you know, I'm so and so, you know, or what brings you to the roller derby?" Mm-hmm. You know, and just starting to chat. And who knows what'll happen.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. All right, next
Thanks for
question.
writing in. Our next question, hey, Womp List and guest, in this case, Tara.
Oh, hello.
First off, y'all are great. I love the evolution since those early Bang Bang days and was so happy when you got a spin-off and nailed it.
Wow.
Also, I know this isn't you, but I thought you should know how great the episode of Animals with the birds in the nest was. You'd feel a connection to those chicks, I'm sure. So yeah, anyway, I'm a trans woman living in a man's body, and I'm comfortable with that choice. I don't need to transition to be happy like many trans folks do. For me, the internal recognition is half of what I need, and the other half is acceptance from those close to me. Presenting female and living female in the world just isn't a priority, and while I can't fully explain why, I know it, and I'm cool with it. That sounds good.
Okay.
What's tough, though, is connecting with partners. Emotionally, I'm all there. But sometimes physically, I can't perform because being male pisses me off. And that's not the kind of performance I want to take part in. Most of the time, that's not an issue. But like my body's physical attraction doesn't express itself the way it should, I guess. I'm bisexual to an extent, but I haven't had more than a physical connection with any man. So I think it's like physically, I'm a bi guy, but emotionally, I'm a lesbian lady with erectile dysfunction.
Okay. Okay.
I've had good relationships, but only one where she was into me because of this and not in spite of this or until finding out about this. I think about her a lot. There are down days where I think she's the only woman who could love me, and I threw that away. But the reality is the relationship wasn't fair to her. I didn't really love her. I was just so thrilled that she loved the woman in me that I wanted to keep her around. She deserved more than that, so I broke it off. Look at me making myself sound like a hero. I really just moved away because I'd already been planning to when she and I met. For sure, more of a coward than anything. Ha ha. I didn't know I was going to write about that. I meant to ask about the future. When do you think it's appropriate to bring my gender complexities up to a new partner? I just met this incredible woman and really connected. We haven't even had our first real date yet, but I'm already terrified of telling her and losing her. Curious to hear you speak on this. Hopefully your guest is queer savvy this week. Ha ha. All right. A lot to process here.
A lot to process. I took notes.
I feel like you don't know exactly what you want. Is that, I mean, even though you're presenting yourself as like, this is who I am, this is what I want, right? Mm-hmm. It sounds to me like you're also open to other things.
What do you mean? Because it sounds like that she's very clear that she wants a woman to love who understands that her equipment is not going to work, because that's not how she expresses her sexual arousal.
She expresses it as a woman would.
Right. So she's got this thing that I think would traditionally be a marker. Oh, you're turned on or you're not turned on. But that's not how she's going to show that. And I think the right woman who has the chemistry, a real life chemistry with you, I think they're going to, it won't matter because it's going to be so clear that you are attracted and into it. Do you know what I'm saying? Even if
I
if
think
that
the
part
connection is where we start, right?
Yeah.
The chemistry is where we start. We don't start with all the rules. Like, just so you know, this is what I am. This is how I live. This is how I love. Like, love the person, connect with the person,
Right.
feel safe with the person, and then start to try things. Because
and see what happens.
I know in a lot of my relationships, I thought things were going to be one way, and then I'm loving this person. They're asking for something that might be different than what I thought I was going to be giving or wanting
Right.
or be drawn to.
Right.
It's not until you're in the moment with that person that you even know what the blocks are or what you're capable of, I guess. For me.
But I do agree that before you get intimate with somebody, is there any bigger kind of mood killer than being in your head? And you're so worried, oh God, what happens if we start making out and then this doesn't happen and then or
Right.
she doesn't understand
Right.
that I'm trans and then I get so it's like I think it's just being honestly #authentic, like I'm super into you. I can't wait to do it with you. I need to give you a couple of heads up, which is just it's this and this. And I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I want you to know that if that part doesn't happen, it doesn't mean I'm totally into it with you. Is that going to be hard?
Well, I think yeah, you wait till you see if there's someone who's worth sharing your personal
Right.
stuff with. If they are, you share it. If that scares them away, then you cannot date. You simply cannot date them.
That's right.
But
There's your answer.
And then also, there's plenty of people that have arousal problems. It has nothing to do with, it does have everything to do with what's going on with you, but giving yourself permission to not perform and not beating yourself up. If you're like, oh, I couldn't perform, I was upset, that's okay.
Right. And also there are a million other ways to quote unquote have sex.
Yes.
Than just an erection or even an orgasm.
Or have intimacy with someone.
Have
Yes.
intimacy. That's right.
But I think as a partner too, if you're trying to check literally the tiniest
Box.
12 little boxes, you may never find that person, but you might find someone that's got 8 of those 12 boxes checked, right? And then maybe there's some movement back and forth based on what they need, based on what they're bringing to the relationship, that you can find a gray area. I think in the queer community, and I am not a queer person, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but I have seen that there's a lot of pride about knowing exactly who you are without any wiggle room. But now there's been a shift where people are saying I
could be
I am
a lot
all
of different
these
things.
colors.
That's right.
Right. And there's a pride in that as well.
I was thinking as I was listening, what a beautiful thing it is that we have come to a place where somebody can have the kind of freedom to look at themselves and say, hey, I'm a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and that makes me special and unique. And if you're feeling it, there are a billion humans out there. God knows there are other people in the same boat.
Yeah, I feel a little out of my depth on this question, but what I do know about is being true to myself and also connection is incredibly important.
Intimacy, you can't just have physical intimacy. There has to be emotional intimacy too. I
Yeah.
think for it to be satisfying.
For it to be moved beyond the physical.
And in order to have emotional intimacy, we must be truthful.
Yeah.
With ourselves and with other people.
Intimacy is into me see.
Whoa,
right, no,
Tara.
And you know that I've never had a connection with someone who's then told me about a weird, what they perceive as weird bedroom thing that bothered me. So when I care about someone and
So
they
you
say,
have had sex with someone.
did I
not-
say sex?
You didn't.
Well, when
True.
I care about someone and they say, this is what I like, I say, give me that camera and I'll help you out.
Oof. Oof, magoof. All right.
Oof to the goof.
Good luck.
All
we're,
right.
we're rooting for you.
The last thing I want to say, and then we'll jump into Spotlight on. A while ago, we received a letter. This was early on in our podcast. It was about cross-dressing. And I think this was before this segment really became the segment that it is
Sure.
today. And I think that caller inner might have felt like we didn't handle it with the same care that we're handling it today. And I want to say we have been growing. This segment of the show has certainly changed and grown throughout the podcast history. It's been years in the making, really.
God knows. I was 12 when this started.
So if there's anyone that has written in that has felt any disrespect, please know that was not the intention, and that we are doing our best now, and we've learned a lot, and we continue to learn a lot. Obviously, you heard, and always we're open to hearing from you. So thank you for letting us know. I think it meant a lot to the person to say that and to get a response from us.
Well, we appreciate you guys writing in and letting us know if we misstep, because that's helping us learn about other people and other experiences, makes us better.
Because all we can do is
humans.
speak from our own experience.
That's right.
But we love you guys. All right, let's jump into Spotlight on.
All right, Tara.
Remind me?
You sure you don't want a snack
A snack? No.
before we go do this?
I already ate. I ate.
What have you had today?
I did not eat today, but I have already eaten.
Okay. We're going to talk about what nourishes you, Tara. What nourishes your soul and your body in a little segment I like to call Spotlight on. Tara, I know I've said your face looks like you've gotten into a knife fight, and it turned out you had. But I would like to say, having spent just this short time with you, that you are a beautiful person.
Inside and out.
Inside and out.
Your body does make me hard.
In every possible way.
And your face, honestly, now that I've gotten to know you better, also makes other parts of me hard.
And I guess
Like my brain gets hard.
it's not enough for us to say it. You have to feel it, because as long as you feel like you're somebody who's not quote unquote beautiful, you're going to keep spying on Larry Davies in his Adobe house in Tucson.
Because that's not what you deserve, girl.
Nope.
You know, after hearing you say that and hearing these listeners writing in, no one's ever told me that my face makes their brain hard before.
You're welcome.
I'm realizing that that's true. There are people out there who both my body and face will make them hard in different parts of their own bodies, and that's never going to be Larry.
It's never going to be Larry. And if you were to turn Barbizot modeling into your own thing, what would it be? What kind of people would you be looking for? People that a magazine tells us are beautiful?
Maybe specialize in injuries on their body and faces.
Yes, I would not. I would not.
What? Why are you making that face?
I would not focus on people with beautiful, perfect golden triangle, golden ratio faces, maybe a golden triangle face.
And now,
Instead,
is that
you're
what she
speaking
said?
my language.
Maybe we're talking-
Maybe somebody shaped like a
Oh, is this your plan the whole time?
upside down muffin.
Well, I'd still look like for people with great bodies, but maybe it's
Yeah.
butterface modeling now. Maybe it's hatchet face modeling.
Maybe
agency.
it's grimace shaped people that have a personality that shines through the eyes. Maybe it's people with hair in places they shouldn't.
If that's related to their face, but not on their bodies. No,
I
no.
think you got to open up your mind.
Open it up.
I'll think about it.
What about people that have skin pockets? You know, they took skin
Where they
from
can
one
hide
place,
weapons.
and then they sewed it to their ankle, and they keep weapons in there.
I could have an offshoot for that. They wouldn't fit in at Butterface or Hatchet Face modeling agency, but
I can guarantee you that URL is not taken, either of those.
Do you, by chance, remember the name on the switchblade that cut y'all up?
Crystal.
It wasn't Charlotte. Oh God, thank God.
You can't live with that. You can't live with that.
Oh, thank God.
Because you had gone to pick up your personalized switchblade, and it wasn't ready, or what? You were worried that that's what caused it?
It was covered in blood.
Well, it got all over the other switchblades,
Okay,
but this was a man named Greg who loved Crystal Pepsi and wanted a switchblade that said Crystal on one side and Pepsi on the other.
Well, that guy has bigger problems than having caused such horrific
And
disfigurement.
it wasn't his fault, right? Somebody else put
wasn't
it on
his
the poor
fault.
man's drone, shot it up into the air with the string. She would just happen. Now,
Dumb.
where was the wind chime lady? Why didn't she get all cut up?
She was on the other side of the stand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tara, tell me, if tomorrow was your last day on Earth, what would you do right now?
Gosh, I would.
Go to Shake Shack? Have a burger?
no.
I
Let's not
would-
make it about food.
It would not be about food. I would very quickly write a memoir because I have a lot of dirt.
Then let's do it right now, Tara.
I'm going to write a full memoir immediately.
Tara, do it. Because that is how you are going to get yourself out of this trap, all right? I want you living your hashtag authentic life. I want to read that book.
Yes.
All right? I can see the cover. It's your body with all those different faces on it. You know? Like a multi-headed type of...
Like a ganache or
like
something?
Like a ganache,
Yeah,
yes.
we got Christy Turlington. We've got Christy Brinkley.
All the Christies.
Yep. Billy Joel.
And Naomi Campbell.
Tara, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to bring you back to the mall. We're going to get you set up with some counselors to get you out of this Larry Davies sex business you've been becoming a part of. And we want to thank everybody for writing in. We're going to be back with you next week with a hot, fresh Womp It Up. Let's live our hashtag authentic lives, people.
Turn around.
See, 'cause that's where the party's at, and you find out if you do that.
Hey, this is Arnie from the comedy podcast Hello from the Magic Tavern, a chat show I host from the magical land of Foon with my co-hosts.
Usador, the Blue Wizard.
And Chuck, the shapeshifter.
Most weeks we interview adventurers,
Wedding planners.
Ambulatory trees.
but this week we have a special episode.
I am so excited to learn about the Earth lore contained in Pride and Prejudice.
We're going to do a book club of Pride and Prejudice.
And you said this is a well-loved book on Earth, right?
Yeah, it's one of those books that people love or were forced to read, or more likely it's one of those I'm going to get to it's.
And some of our most beloved guests are returning to read the book with us and enjoy some drinks and food over book club.
We have Flower, we have Crom the Barbarian.
And Germ.
You know who they are.
Maybe you don't give a crap about what an academic thinks about Jane Austen, but don't you want to know what a wizard and a badger think about it?
Not enough spells.
Not enough grubs.
Not enough sword fights.
Whether you love Pride and Prejudice or have no interest in reading it and just want to listen to a book club go really off the rails, you'll enjoy this week's Hello from the Magic Tavern.
We shall defeat this book.